kids love to play with construction toys. But have you ever wondered what it would be like to play with the real thing? The really big machines? These are earth movers. They can move a lot of dirt, but sometimes you need something even more powerful. Watch this. These machines kind of look like big dinosaurs eating old building parts to make way for the new buildings. They have to work really hard. Hi kids, I'm construction foreman Dave. Well, I'm not really a construction foreman, but the real construction workers told me that I could pretend for a day so that you and I can learn about construction sites, demolition sites, and how all this big equipment works. Now let's see, he told me not to touch one of these. Which one would? Let's see. Oh! I shouldn't have done that. Well, as you can see, construction sites are very noisy places to be. They're also very dangerous. That's why everybody here has to wear one of these. It's a hard hat. It keeps you your head protected from flying objects and things. I want you to look at this machine back there, the yellow one. That is a loader, and if you look close, you'll see that the device on the front is kind of like a big claw. It's used for bending and crunching up all the large pieces of metal and things that you find here on this demolition site, and then it's loaded into that high-sided dump truck over there, which hauls it away, and then it's recycled. Times if you're going to build something new, you've got to tear down what was there before to make room for it. We've come to a demolition site where they're tearing down an old shopping mall to make room for a new shopping mall. That big machine you see back there is one of the biggest excavators in the world. And that big arm is used to knock the concrete apart. On the end of it is a hydraulic hammer with huge force. It's used to bam, 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 break the cement apart so it can be separated from the iron and recycled. Now the water you see it spraying on the building is simply there to keep the dust down. Another kind of an excavator that you see behind me, but if you'll notice on the end of the big arm there's a special device called a cruncher, and it's like a great big shark's jaw. What it does is it bites down on the rocks and then crunches them into smaller pieces so that they can be recycled.
Jim Hayden, and I'm superintendent for the Pit Hall Company, which as superintendent, I get to direct all this operation that you've been filming around here today. When I was young, when I was 5 or 6 years old, I was moving dirt around with little play toys that I had, and I'm still doing it today. It was fun then, it's fun now. So you could just be demolishing things all day long and tear them down, and then you can turn right around and get in the other end of the business and build it all back instead of tearing it down.
This machine is called a bulldozer, the mighty bulldozer. Now this particular bulldozer has wheels on it, but as you'll see later on, most bulldozers have tracks, just like a big army tank. And bulldozers are used primarily for pushing dirt from one place to another, or leveling an area like this so that a building can be constructed later on. To a different kind of building site now. This eventually will be a 26-story building, a very tall building. With a building like that, you have to have a firm foundation. It has to be securely hooked to the ground so that there's an earthquake or something that it doesn't fall down and move. The way they do that is by using this huge drill bit here to drill a deep hole in the ground. They then fill that with cement and steel and then anchor the building to it, and it becomes very solid so that it won't fall over if there's an earthquake. Never guess what this is. This is really the inside of one of the big cement beams or building blocks that will hold up the building eventually. What they do is they make a steel cage, and then they lower this in a frame and pour cement on it. The cement hardens, and because of the steel framework, it makes it much stronger so it can hold up the building. This is one of the biggest pieces of equipment on a construction site. It's a 225-ton crawler crane. Now, it's called a crawler because it's got these big, huge tracks, just like a big tank, only much larger, that moves it around the site. It's almost 15 stories high, and it's used to pick up real heavy objects and move them around the construction site.